Right, good afternoon YouTube. Welcome to A&M Moto Toys, maybe Ferret Face. I'm not really sure which channel we'll put this on. Sorry for the terrible view. This is just kind of where my phone sits. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about an experience we just had as a rental. So we rented out yesterday, or actually this morning, my Beta 390 and a GPX 300. And the Beta 390, they got it here and then they started to ride and everything else. And they said it was leaking oil real bad. You know, I was like, okay. We were just riding around this morning and last night. We were getting the bikes ready, so very strange. I didn't see any indications of problems with the bike. Of course, you know, when you're at your shop, you know, inevitably nothing ever happens until it gets out and you're riding. So, well, lo and behold, they get out here and they're having problems and something's leaking, so I decided to come out. I brought an extra bike with because, yeah, I knew that they were going to probably not be able to get it working out here, especially if it's got some sort of major problem. Well, anyways, it stopped running and it won't start, and it seems like the motor's seized. To me, initially, it looks like the Beta's head gasket looks like it went. I don't know. From what I can tell, there might be coolant in the oil. So yeah, so I think the Beta might be done for a little while. We'll see. I'm sure that when I get it torn apart, we'll find out exactly what happened. That's a pretty major rebuild for the Beta. Now, real bummer actually. The Beta has, oh gosh, I have to look at it. I think she's got 15 or 1600 miles on it. And a lot of that is hard single track. A lot of that has been my riding, not so much as a rental. She wasn't a rental until, like, you know, halfway through the season last year. So nothing terribly crazy there. I think she's got about 200 hours on the motor though, a little bit more, I think. Yeah, so it's very possible that the head gasket just blew and she just seized up and died while they were riding out there, which isn't those guys' fault. The only thing that I figured might have been their fault is, for whatever reason, the brake line at the front was torn and the brake line went. That might have been from being on their hitch carrier on the back of the RV. I'll throw up a picture, maybe. I don't know. It was kind of sketch how they had put it on there, but you know, at this point, it was working when they got here, so they say, and I tend to believe them. They seem like pretty stand-up guys. They let me know of all the problems. They called me right away. You know, there was no obvious damage to the bike, like it had been thrown off the carrier or anything, so I have no grounds to fight them on anything. They were actually quite nice to me, even give me a beer while I'm sitting there. So sometimes being respectful and courteous goes a long ways as to how much I'm going to charge you for something. Anyways, the bad news is that I think the Beta's motor went. I think she let go in some sort of way. I was wondering if I had possibly put too much oil in it, but I checked it yesterday and the oil level looked good to me. I do have a habit with the Betas of putting a little bit too much oil sometimes because they only hold 750 milliliters on each side. So yeah, I really felt last night it was running pretty good. Even Mark was riding it. And then yeah, now they were having problems riding it around. So you know, not the renter's fault, so I brought another bike for them. Yeah, and that's really all we can do. I'm going to refund the full cost of this Beta. They'll get the adjusted cost for the cheaper GPX, and hopefully they'll be happy with riding out here. You know, at A&M Moto Toys, we really try to make the customers happy. I drove an hour out here to make sure that they got a bike that was working. I would hopefully like to not do that every time. This is the first time that this has happened. We've had any major problems. I'm sure it won't be the last, but yeah, we stand behind our bikes, and you know what, if my old Beta decided to blow up on them, hey, it is what it is. I know what I've done to that bike, so I can only put so much blame on the customer. Yeah, so just doing a little update of rental life and what kind of sucks. We'll get this back to the shop there, and I think I've got enough tools to probably get her apart and find out. We'll see. I'm not sure I have the time to rebuild it right now. We're trying to open up shop, so I might end up having a mobile mechanic come by, or one of our guys at Fuel Power Sports, you know, take her apart. I have no doubt that a full rebuild for this bike is probably going to be $2 or $3 grand. I think it's worth it probably to fix it, even if I have to pay out of pocket for that. Really, quite honestly, the Beta 390 has been my favorite four-stroke ever. It really, it really is an awesome 4-stroke. It's a good bike. It's too bad that the you know, of course, the customers here, a couple of Russian guys, very nice. That's too bad that they didn't get to experience it, which is a bummer. But they'll get some kickback on it, and it seems like they're having a good time. They're out there in their RV having fun or whatnot. So yeah, I'm always a little embarrassed when my stuff stops working for people or has a problem, and I think any business owner should be like, if your product or you know, something that you're guaranteeing to somebody is in good working order and stuff, if it breaks, I feel like that is a little embarrassing. I don't want to go out of my way to make sure that the customer is gonna have a good time, and then that they're gonna get a bike that works for them. Anyways, at least it's a beautiful drive out here into the Palmer, what is this? Fuck, I can't remember the name of the river right through here. My brain is so flustered. Yeah, it's at least a nice drive out here, and at least they were super respectful. And the guy called me with each problem. He wasn't mad or super upset or frustrated. And I can't say how much I appreciate that, because I know how frustrating a broken bike is, especially when you're paying hundreds of dollars for a rental. That goes a long way for me as an owner, you know, of multiple bikes that rents. So I'm glad that they have something to enjoy and have fun out here. You know, I know the GPX Moto 300 isn't the best substitute for a Beta 390, but hey, you know what? I can only do what I got. He didn't want the 2-stroke. You know, my Riehu, I'd offer it up. That's my most expensive rental, and it is quite a premium rental, at least I think so. Great bike, but yeah, they're doing a lot of like kind of going around on the road, so 2-stroke I guess wasn't appealing to them. So I've got a backlog of a lot of footage, so hopefully I can get this up soon. I'll probably prioritize this over some of my other content. We've been very busy getting the shop open, painting, whatever, you know, rentals. Now we're getting in renting season starting up, so I'm hoping that all works out pretty good. These guys were willing to buy whatever, rent whatever. You know, they told us, hey, if we'd had a hitch carrier, they'd have bought that, rented that. You know, they rented an RV and they bought a hitch carrier just kind of on a whim, just so that they could bring the bikes out and stuff. So I don't suspect any malintent with these guys. You know, they may have accidentally ripped that brake line, but honestly, a brake line on the Betas, my cost is probably $30, so not a big deal. I'm willing to eat that one, given that the bike just totally crapped on them. Yeah, so crazy stuff, really. You know, we had tested the Beta out. We put new handguards on it. We made sure it was good to go. It was one of my more premium bikes that we have, so it's kind of a bummer. Ultimately, though, fixing it's going to be cheaper than a new bike. Just you know, everything in this industry is always so expensive, I feel. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Just kind of a little insight of what we do, what we deal with some of the rentals, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Bared Face out.